Welcome to this week in Nectar. Now, we've got somebody very, very special tonight. So special. So incredibly special. You wouldn't believe who we've got. Is it Coach Red Pill?
Is it Kraut?
Is it Dralister?
Is it Aiden Paladin?
Is it Sargon of Akkad?
Could it even be Armored Skeptic, Shoe on Head? Who could it be?
Have we booked Vaush tonight, ladies and gentlemen?
Is it Destiny? No. You know who it is.
It's Public Enemy #1, ladies and gentlemen. Public Enemy #1. A man who is soon to be shot in the back of the head by a luchador wearing 400-pound American knee. Who is it, PPP?
It is the man formerly known as Janny Juice, but now known as Generous Josh.
Generous Josh in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hello.
Generous
Can you feel the
Thank you for the very.
You feel the love tonight?
Can you feel the love?
I can feel the love, Godwinson.
We all feel.
Generous Josh. Flying, soaring, like an eagle, Josh.
Oh.
So many things to tell.
All right. We're not going to get into the bulk of the song, but you get the point. We're all one big family. So say hi to everybody, Josh.
Hello, everybody.
Now,
I've had a few drinks, but I'm not like singing drunk yet. I'm sorry. Sorry if that was lackluster. I'm not quite pill stream drunk.
Don't worry, we'll get the duet later between me and you. It's going to go platinum, Josh. It's us singing Can You Feel the Love Tonight as a duet. I think it's going to be incredible. It's going to be Kino.
In stores soon. So, Josh, we're here tonight talking to Public Enemy #1. A man who, at this point in time, Gator is throwing darts at a picture of. How does that make you feel, first and foremost, Josh?
I don't know. It's very surreal. It's very surreal because it happened so quickly that like all three of these people decided like that I was a bad person, like all at once, and it's so surreal that it doesn't enter the realm of offense because it feels like a joke or like a work of fiction as opposed to people being sincere about things they take seriously. But the funny part is that they do take it seriously. So that's
well, yeah. I mean, it's all started off when we were doing the new Project 2 Crusade, the crusade to destroy the grifter mafia of New Project 2. And you made a joke about Ralph saying that you were going to sacrifice him, or we need to sacrifice him to the corn. I mean, if anybody watches South Park, which I imagine most people on this demographic do, it's a pretty obvious reference to a pretty popular episode there. But Ralph takes like slight little jabs or jokes at his expense to be like a declaration of like total war. Like you're like Goebbels getting up and being like, do you want total war against Ethan Ralph? That's how he takes it.
PPP. Let's not forget that Josh was loyal to a fault to Dick Masterson in the new Project 2 cabal. I mean, the man was loyal. The man was sweeping up Kiwi farms. He's breaching every ethic and code he possibly had. Yet he makes one offhand comment about Ethan Ralph, and that's time for them all to throw poor little Josh under the bus. And I don't understand why. I seriously don't understand why. Because we've spoken about this before. We've spoken about, well, if Josh was such a bad person, if he was a pedo, if he was evil, if he was the bride of Satan, then why would they have had him on the stream? What, 11 times
11.
He was the guest?
11.
The featured guest at that, not even like an interloper, but the featured guest, Joshua Moon of Kiwi Farm. So we're at a point now where they've decided that, oh, he was evil all along.
Yeah.
I pointed that out in his thread.
Now, Josh, what are your thoughts?
Oh, well, it's just, it's obviously, it's bullshit. Or it's either true and he's a terrible person, or it's not true, and he's just a flagrant liar. Because he's had me on both before and after people like Zoom come on to say the exact same things, and now only after he feels slighted does it become something that he takes seriously. So it's a really, I mean, it looks pathetic. No matter how you try to slice it, it cannot look good for him.
At any point in the past, has Ralph ever brought up Lock Clan or anything related to you being an evil person? Like, ever before?
No, I don't have access to my like Discord histories and stuff, but I'm pretty sure he said that he doesn't think it's true, and he probably doesn't think it's true right now. It's just convenient for him to say.
But the business relationship you had with Ralph was what? Please come on the show. Please make me some shekels tonight.
If anything was happening, he would usually pretty aggressively, message me on Twitter saying, "Hey, do you want to come on the show tonight?" And I would usually, especially recently, I would decline. I would say like, sorry, but your show's at like 4 a.m. my time, and I've declined quite a few invitations to come onto the Ralph Retort strictly because of time zones. I literally was not avoiding him. I just can't stay up to 4 a.m. to be on the Ralph Retort.
And just quickly,
well, I mean,
go ahead, Pete.
Go ahead. Okay. Well, what I was going to say is honestly, like he's desperate to get people to fill the dead air that is Shannon Gaines, the charisma vacuum, fucking Bibble. He doesn't even have fucking Randbot anymore. We have fucking Bibble. I mean, Flamingo, I think.
For all of Randbot's retardation, he was at least entertaining. He was somewhat trepidatious about the Jays, was Randbot. But he was entertaining, and they've had to censor Randbot. I just want to ask Josh this question. In all of your business dealings with Ralph, because I'm sure for as long as you've known Ralph personally, he's had a thread on Kiwi Farms. Am I correct?
Yeah, I would say that's true. I would say I probably found his show because of his thread.
So has he ever once asked you to moderate?
No, he's come onto the forum a couple times to contest things, but it's kind of like a cycle, and it's kind of why I don't take this seriously. It's because he'll come on, he'll take issue with something I've said, we'll argue for a little bit, I'll say something pointed but true, he'll come to the realization that I was right, and he would pretend that nothing happened, and we just go back to talking terms real fast.
But Ralph's point at this moment in time is that Kiwi Farms is evil because the information on the site isn't accurate.
Well, he'll never
has he ever once, whether in his own thread or related to other people, questioned the accuracy of something on Kiwi Farms to you personally?
I won't say no to that because he may have mentioned that, like, it's very possible he would have complained about like A-logs in his thread. They all do. Whenever they don't like their thread, they just say that the people in it have bad intentions. That's a common defense that I hear. I've heard from a lot of people.
Right.
I can't say that I remember an explicit instance where he said that, but I won't say that I haven't either, just because.
So when Ralph request about accuracy or cleaning it up, what did he say? Just an outright no, or?
Oh, well, he's never asked me to delete anything, as far as I know.
Right. Yeah.
He's
so what I want to bring up is Josh was bringing up a point how people, once they get a thread themselves, up until that point, they love it. And I just want to point out how generous Josh has been to Dick Masterson. So generous. He comes in and explains to Dick what he's doing wrong and says, please, like, I'm pleading with you. Don't do this. This is bad for you. Like, because obviously this guy extended you a platform to make $2,000 a month, and you don't want to just fucking throw him down the river. But he's just determined to be a fucking idiot and call you Karen Farms and say that thread's ruined the site. I mean, Josh, like, what more can you do for him? How much more generous can you be?
I mean, I've told him how I think about, especially with the Karen Farms thing. It's such a poor attempt at a Trumpism or a linguistic kill shot, as Scott Adams likes to say, because it doesn't stick. How does a site that can't get funding anywhere because it's so offensive, so egregious to people, get maligned with middle-aged white women? It doesn't make any sense. I've told him that he should just ignore it, but he's very adamant that it's all part of the fun, and I think it is for him. I think he does enjoy the drama to an extent, and it certainly hasn't cost him any money. But with adjacents, I think they do take it more seriously because it is their money. And you know what? I think specifically with Ralph, I never even thought about it until this point. But he got kicked off of New Project 2, and I'm pretty sure that all the people who lost money because of New Project 2 going under blame me specifically. And I hadn't come to that realization until now. They probably do.
Well,
Josh.
I think they do blame you for you being. Is it? Let's clarify this for all time. You are deplatformed, persona non grata on MasterCard, right?
I don't think I personally am on Match, but what happens is if I get on something like New Project 2, someone like Vordrak will contact people in MasterCard or the Anti-Defamation League, and he will aggressively shake them down.
So it's
too.
Masterson's. So it's Masterson's association with you that's got him also
his
put
company,
on a block list, put on a list where he can't. Right.
Yeah.
So I mean that is
my.
Masterson's
I'm pretty sure it's my fault. I can't imagine who else's fault it would be. It's probably my fault. Yeah.
So it's not your fault.
Right. So just before when you were saying that, I mean, he's enjoying this, he's enjoying exacerbating Kiwi farms and the drama. I mean, does he have a death wish? Like, what does he want to do? Does he want all of his money to just evaporate into thin air? Does he want everyone to just come after his money? Is he enjoying it?
Well, I mean, as long as his stuff doesn't stay touched, and it obviously hasn't because he keeps his Patreon and stuff, I'm pretty sure he's, ready to roll with whatever. I think I think at some point after the Maddox stuff, he realized that there is a need to have some new blood coming in. I think he gives people, a chance to, and gives different dramas airtime on the show. He invited Digibro over and all sorts of people. I think there's just some interest in trying out different personalities and stuff.
You are so loyal. You're so loyal and so generous to the last day.
I try to give everyone the benefit of a doubt.
On you and say
so loyal,
Hold on. Let me give my hot take on why it isn't your fault, Josh, okay? Here's the reality. If Dick had just shut his fucking mouth and not tried to, cover up the whole simping thing and then and doubled down on it and said, oh, it's not funny, guys, and, put that motherfucker, what's his name, Jesse, 6 feet under with a pile-on job. If he had just not brought me onto his show after Ralph passed out in a puddle of his own puke, if he had not fucking, been a total faggot and escalated this to the highest levels humanly possible, Vordrak never would have got involved. Nobody would have got involved. I wouldn't have got involved, but he just kept pushing. And eventually they attacked you, which was the weak point. But initially, this is all his Dick's fault. How can he put it on you?
I disagree. Vordrak has been after me. I have gotten emails from people on my dad's side of the family I've never met asking why this guy is calling them a pedophile and shit. Vordrak is crazy, dude. He's always after me. I think what happens is that he's bipolar. Well, he gets into slumps and
look,
euphoria.
Josh, you're Vordrak's. Josh, you are Vordrak's Captain Kirk. He is Khan in Star Trek 2, and he will chase you round the moons of Jupiter until he sees you dead at his feet, Josh. The man's not going to stop. So, I mean, whatever funding platform you find next, you just need to keep it secret. Just absolutely secret.
But I think, honestly, he just didn't realize that Dick was doing this, maybe. I don't know.
Dick is completely irrelevant to all of this, really, apart from Josh giving... we're going to treat... you're a friend of Dick Masterson's, clearly, still, right?
I have no issue with Dick. I would even... I have no beef with Dick whatsoever, and I would still say I don't hate Ralph. I don't hate Gator. I don't hate these people. I just find that they go through trends that's weird or funny, and I do what I always do. I post on my forum and I try to have a good time.
But what you're doing is you're going into, Discord, and you're giving Dick Masterson, your friend, your mensch, some advice there. And I thought it was pretty good advice, was it not?
Yeah.
Give us a TLDR on the advice you gave, just for the audience at home, Josh.
Oh, the advice, and I didn't post this directly at Dick. It was just in the Dick Masterson Patreon Discord, and I was just talking aloud with people there, and it's you really shouldn't kick the hornet's nest. If you don't want problems, don't do that. It doesn't make any sense. That's my advice to anyone: is if the forum's American, like there are thousands of threads on the forum, and the vast majority of them never acknowledge their thread, and their threads stay under 10 pages. That's, I mean, my advice to him would be the advice to anyone, because you don't know what kind of negative reaction you're going to get. You might think it's like all fun, silly games on the internet and stuff, but you might, smugness tends to incite a certain kind of hatred and insanity in people. So if you're smug and you're kicking the hornet's nest, you might get a unintended strong reaction from people. So my advice to people is always the same: don't ask for problems unless you really, really want problems.
Such sound advice, such sage wisdom from generous Josh.
Generous, Josh, giving, loving Josh.
A wonderful man. Like, honestly, like, this is like the most kind-hearted shit. Like, after they just shit all over you say that you're scum, he has not even but hardly a bad word to say.
Not even a slight fucking insult against the whole cabal. Right now they're furiously watching and typing on Twitter, calling Josh an evil pedophile. Yet not one time has Josh thrown any of them under the bus.
They're going to be like, how dare you go on a show with the fat Canadian? You're platforming
I can
him
tell
and
you
go
why.
on the kill streak.
PPP is funny, and he's got good energy.
Do they think they're...
I mean, that's why I like PPP.
Generous God.
Endorsements. Yes. So
what were you saying? You were sucking my balls. Let's get back to the part where Josh was giving me fellatio back. Wait.
So we've got sound, friendly, giving, generous advice from generous Josh being posted in a Patreon-only Discord. Like, what a fucking revelation this is. How much money are you giving to Dick Masterson on Patreon? Even after they're shafting you constantly, Josh. How much are you giving to Dick Masterson?
Oh, I do the 20 a month so I can see the live streams when they're live.
What a wonderful man. The most
What a giving man. What a generous fellow.
Like, can you even believe it? Like, this is... I don't even know. Like, this is like beyond Mother Teresa. This is like this is beyond Gandhi. Like, Martin Luther King Jr. kneels at your feet. Martin Luther King Jr. kisses you the feet. The ground that Josh walks upon is worshipped by Rosa Parks, by Bono, by humanitarians. The United Way is like, wow. Like, we're just blown out by this man's charity, his generosity. What the fuck?
So the way they repay your generosity, Josh, is by having their grunt gator do the legwork and shit all over you. I mean, surely you're not going to take it from Gator of all people, Josh. Come on.
Well, Gator's article is hysterical. That's why I featured it. It's really funny.
Let's read this together, shall we? Does anybody have it pulled up other than
if Josh puts it up on the screen?
Okay, I'll put it up
for the audience at home.
Bless
we'll just filibuster here. So already, chat, we're seeing a man who's got a heart of gold, a saint. Saint Moon has joined us tonight. A true god of generosity and giving.
And goodwill and glad tidings amongst men. He's never raised his voice even one time. He's never been mad at the internet even one time.
Not even once.
He's just so glowing with glad tidings of cheer.
Right now, PPP, Dick Masterson is tweeting out 10 times a minute about how Karen farms are awful, about how Josh is a pedophile. Yet Josh still donates the 20 shekels a month from the Siberian wilderness. He is without heating and a blanket and even light, yet he still has money in his wallet for the 20 shekels a month for Dick Masterson.
Josh is like hiding in like this hostel in Serbia or Siberia or wherever. He's
where in the world is Josh today?
And he, instead of ordering that last takeout meal, he gives it up for Dick each month. We love you, generous Josh. Generous Josh.
Here's how generous I am. I'm streaming this from my laptop, and my poor laptop can barely encode this stream. I can hear the fans churning. I've had this laptop for 6 years, and it may die live on the air as I stream this.
Here we go. Here we go. Here's the scam. Here's why we're really here. Josh is already e-begging for a laptop, Kiwi Farmers, you know.
We're back.
Here we go. You know.
Yes, days begging for laptops and shit on YouTube.
This is it. And you're using the Godwinson PPP platform to e-beg. The lowest of the low.
Here's how fucking bad Ralph's site is. I've typed in Joshua Moon Null, the RalphRetort.com, and it does not fucking show up on Google. Can you link me to this in the Hangouts chat?
Look, Josh, you've got it linked on your own forum. You sticky the entire article.
I can barely open a web browser. My laptop is screaming at me. You have to help me out.
Can you hear that? I'm going to play some violin music so we can buy Josh a new laptop. The master of the internet. You know what I mean? The lord of the internet who runs about 17 different websites.
I run it off
generous of this
very old laptop. My enterprise goes with me.
Well, PPP's right. This goes just to show your benevolent, generous, giving nature. Your technology is barely even sentient, yet you're still here.
Guys, he could be watching anime right now. He could be jerking off to pornography. He could be doing anything right now, guys. But he has chosen to give his time back to the audience and go live on a show that he's not even being paid for. This isn't even Matt on the internet. He's not even getting any lemons, guys. Do you know that? And yet he's still here on his toaster of a laptop, bringing it through. Generous Josh.
There's no way. Got the site up, Josh?
I sent it to you and
I got it. I got it. It's on the screen. I promise you, it's on the screen.
It's on screen. Engage.
Well, I can't see it, so you'll have to read it for us, Josh.
Okay, this is Joshua. This is my favorite part already. Is in the title. It's called
Just a
Josh
second.
Moon. No, go ahead.
I wonder if I can pipe in some music.
Go for it. Set the stage.
Filibuster PPP while I find some music for Josh to read this ode.
As Godwinson is going to set the tone, let me just once again let everybody know that not only is Ethan Ralph a crack-addicted, pill-popping, degenerate piece of trailer park trash who lives with his mother and drinks himself to death every single day.
It's not true!
It's not true, but there's actually a form of life that's lower than Ethan Ralph. There is a man named Gator, named Shannon Gaines, which is his real doc, guys. Guys, it's his real docs. It really is Shannon Gaines.
Write the ode to Josh, Gator.
You know, and Gator, instead of letting Ralph take the fall for writing this piece of shit, which Ralph probably wrote, Gator raises his hand and says, "No, coach, it was I. It was I who wrote it. I wrote this. I'm proud of it, Josh, and you need to correct that." And Josh, knowing that Kiwi Farms is the primary source and record of info, it's scholarly. JSTOR papers reference Kiwi Farms as a legitimate source. He corrected the record. What a generous man.
Generous, giving Josh. Here we go, Josh. Get ready for the ode.
Give us the live
before anything else. Let me just say that my favorite part is the title because it says Josh Moon Null, which you don't put the alias in the end, whatever. Joshua Moon, aka Null, is the owner and head janitor of Kiwi Farms, a website founded to cover the history and legacy of Chris Chan, and has since expanded its focus to covering internet drama and personalities. He has since become estranged from the program after Ralph publicly called him out over an incorrect prediction about Papa Jim, and Josh got upset about it. He went on to do a stream where he tried to convince everyone to take Ralph out so things would get back to normal. Instead, Josh insulated himself from pretty much everyone around him and went to write a sad blog post on Kiwi Farms where he bemoaned his inability to get a girlfriend and start a family after Ralph made fun of Josh's extreme erectile dysfunction. You can usually find him crying on his website whenever Ralph pokes fun at him on the show.
Right, so, PPP, do you want me to ask the question, or are you going to ask the question?
Well, you asked the question, but you were a bit too loud on the volume, so Josh got a bit drowned out there.
No, I tuned the live audio down. I think they heard me fine.
See, I mean, we were dealing with the master of the internet, people.
The Lord.
So, Josh, my question to you, and I want a yes or no answer. And I want it to be answered as fast as you possibly can. I don't want any pregnant pauses where people can call you guilty or complicit.
Okay.
Joshua Moon.
Ready.
Does your penis work?
It does work.
So why on Discord were you saying that it didn't? Clear it up once and for all.
Okay, sure. In my own words, at the time that I wrote that, I had sex with women, and I could not complete the act. I have never had an issue with erections, and I'm pretty sure that the lack of feeling that I have is a result of my circumcision, my infant circumcision. And when I told people about this, Ralph tried to drum it up as something embarrassing. I'm not embarrassed about it. It's a medical thing, and it is in line with what I think many people believe about infant circumcision, especially for non-Jews. So it doesn't actually embarrass me to anyone. The whole thing about erectile dysfunction thing is him realizing that that's not embarrassing and nobody gives a fuck. So he tries to make it something else, which is just not true.
So how are you going to perpetuate the white race if you can't ejaculate?
I'll figure something out. I'll get one of those artificial foreskins. I'll figure something out.
Let's remember, this is all Dr. Kellogg's fault. You know, the guy in charge of Kellogg's cereal fucked Josh out of the sensitivity in his penis. That's why I no longer buy any Kellogg's cereal products, because I know that Josh got fucked. People who are circumcised, like, they can't come, and it's tough. They fucked us all. They fucked us all. Generous Josh, telling us the truth.
So generous Josh, right? He can't even come. Yet he's still giving 20 shekels to Dick Masterson, a man who's telling him to come in any old trash can whore that he's found on the street, a man who is a god of pickup artistry. Coach Red Pill before Coach Red Pill. Yet still Josh is here, friendly with Dick Masterson, a man who will circumcise his children, right? He's half Mexican Jew.
And you know that they're going to shit on Josh for daring. How dare he be his own person and come on this show? How dare he be generous to others like us? Josh is just a generous and giving person. He gives of himself so much. Think of how much pain and anguish he's had to go through in his life to run the Kiwi farms. He gives and he gives and he gives, and he never takes. And they're still going to shit on him because why he was generous again and did a show with us today.
He gives to the world and literally has nothing, not even a foreskin. So what was your opinion, Josh? What was your opinion, Josh, on that ode? What was your opinion when you first saw it? Because I think you jumped to the conclusion that it was Ralph, right?
I did. I very falsely, for whatever silly reason, I falsely assumed that the editor-in-chief of the RalphRetort.com had approved content published to the RalphRetort.com. It's an amateur mistake. I'm really ashamed of it. So I very quickly and publicly redacted the fact that it was actually not Ethan Ralph that published that article about me on the RalphRetort.com. It was actually Gator who did it, just as a silly troll. And I put it to the front page like I do everything else. People have made all sorts of videos about me and written stuff about me. When Vordrak was writing articles about me, I featured them too. It's just funny, because what the fuck?
But their whole thing is that Ralph keeps winning. Ralph is curb stomping you into the ground constantly. They've even drawn little pictures of Ralph doing such things. And they're saying that you're envious of Masterson's success, ability to come, and money, and power.
What say you to this?
I'm not, none of these people have families. And, I like Dick and I think he's funny, but I'm not envious of picking up chicks. I don't find being knee deep in 18-year-old, crazy broken high schooler pussy as some sort of trophy. I just don't give a fuck. I think the main reason why that I've had, poor sex. I mean, it's not even like bad sex. It's just that you don't finish. It's if I'm not in love with that person, there's no higher level of attraction that pushes it to.
But Josh, I'm making $1,000. Josh, I'm making $1,000 a week. Josh, you ain't fuck all. I'm making $1,000 a week. I'm a king. I'm winning. I'm fucking thigh deep. An 18-year-old pussy boy. How do you feel about that, incel?
See, the problem with him calling me. Well, am I jealous of money? Fuck no. If I had enough money, to coast off of, I wouldn't need to look for more money. I just need enough.
Josh, are you jealous of Ethan Ralph?
I don't think that I am jealous of Ethan Ralph in any way, shape, or form, past, present, or future.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure, Josh?
I can't think of anything that Ethan Ralph has that I'm envious of. I can't name a single thing that I would take.
Well,
from
you've
him.
mentioned it, Josh. You tried to steer the conversation. You tried to make the link. You mentioned it already. But it's time. It's the segment of the show where we talk about Ralph's underage girlfriend.
Oh,
PPP.
no.
Okay. So here's the thing. Josh, can you give us the breakdown on this? I know you replied to the post. You were asking to confirm with the guy if that shit was accurate. I think you did. Was it accurate?
Are you referring to the
post?
current or with Nora? Which one?
The current 18-year-old girl.
Yeah, whatever Brian Dunn says, we're just going to throw in the trash. If Brian Dunn is the only source on anything, you can discount it as rubbish immediately. No, it's just total facts.
Brian.
Brian's in the chat screaming and screeching. He used to be my hero, man.
He used to be my hero, Juice. Oh.
Yeah,
no, we're just going to talk about the one that's fucked up, that's already been married, that was married to that guy that wore a dildo on his face. The guy whose main achievements in life were going to prison, being a janitor, and being a pedophile. That fella.
What? His current girlfriend was married to a guy who went to jail for being a pedophile?
Yes. Okay. So this was on your own forum.
This is Josh feigning ignorance, PPP.
This is amazing. Okay. So here's the story.
I literally don't follow these fucking people. Why does nobody believe me?
I literally know nothing.
You replied to the post. You replied.
You know what I mean?
I must have forgot already. I'm sorry.
Oh. Okay, it's okay, buddy. I know you have a lot of shit you have to go through. There's Dark Side Phil losing his Twitch, and shit like this. There's a lot going on, but
so Josh, because this is the real reason why they're coming after you, right? This is the real reason. It's because Ralph tried in the bosses meeting you had when you were called up to the HR office. You and Ralph were in Dick Masterson's office, and Ralph tried to throw you under the bus, tried to get Dick Masterson to disavow you completely, because Ralph was so butthurt about his own threat that he thought, I can't share my man with anyone else, especially not evil Joshua Moon. So he tried to call you a pedophile. They've been trying for a few months now to try and just disavow you completely. And now some very, very dedicated person has worked out that Ethan Ralph has been grooming this mentally fucked. I think she's of age, so I will retract that, Ralph. But I think she's of age now. We don't know how long the relationship was established for, but she's fucked. She's fucked in the head. She ain't well. She's like a female Randy Stair. She looks like an alien. It's fucking awful. But the reality is that Ralph is mad today, right now, because you're hosting the conspiracy theory of truth, of reality, the narrative of events on your website.
And the allegation is that he knew
Josh.
her since before she was 18.
Well, let's face it. Look.
Well, what do you think, Josh, first of all?
I mean, the thing is, I said this before, is that even if he did meet Nora when she was 17, even if he did meet this chick when she was 17, the fact of the matter is that he's dating someone who was born after 9/11, I'm pretty sure, and that's just like fucking gross. Like, because he had a girlfriend very briefly who was of age, and that lasted like less than a month. So the clear pattern is that if he dates anyone who's of age, they quickly get tired of his bullshit and dump him. If he dates someone who's 18 and they grow up and they get married to him, they'll divorce him. And this chick will eventually fucking dump him too, because once a woman hits like a certain age, like an adult age, and can compare the relationship she has with Ethan Ralph to the relationships of her other adult friends, she quickly realizes that this is like, fucking bullshit, and just leaves.
Yeah, so I mean, everything Josh has said there is true. It's realistic, it's factual, and he's actually generous and a good man to tell him that, because again, like, he needs to pull his head out of his ass and get a reality check, 5 magic, double damage, reality check. That's what he needs. But let me give the ultimate reality check. I'm trying to pull up this post in the Ralph's Kiwi Farms thread where it's breaking down his 18-year-old girlfriend. The only problem is Ralph is such now a prolific lolcow that it is now buried under an avalanche of page after page after page. But let me explain something to you guys. The funniest part of it all isn't that she's the female Randy Stair doing these epic dramatic readings. The funniest part isn't that she's ugly and fat and 18 years old and she cuts herself and this and that. The funniest part is that Ethan Ralph is getting the sloppy seconds of a fucking man, who has a dildo taped to a fucking bicycle helmet on his head. I need to find this image so that we might see it.
Well, just as you find that image, I'm going to raise you on the funniest part of the entire fiasco. Now, cast your mind back to that post and just remember, how did this woman, the female Randy Stair, how did she come to meet Ethan Ralph? Do we remember, Josh?
Oh, she was in his Discord or something, wasn't she? Because I know that she was a moderator in his Discord. That's how I knew that they were actually dating before it was official, because she was a moderator in his Discord. I'm like, yeah, of course they're fucking dating. If that's
well, the
case.
reality is that when she was a little 12-year-old girl there, she was right there watching Daddy Jim. Daddy Jim. She was the fangirl of Daddy Jim. This is truth. She was the fangirl of Daddy Jim. And now she's found her way to Ethan Ralph. Ralph's the closest she's gonna get to Daddy Jim. It's pretty bad.
How do you know that? I know it's on my site. I know that's what you're gonna say, but
it's in the post, Josh.
Oh my god! You should have fucking.
Even now, Josh is like trying to do damage control for Janny Jim.
I don't want to assume that he groomed a 12-year-old. I want to assume in good faith that that's not what's happening.
No, I don't think. Look, no. No one's saying that Jim groomed a 12-year-old. What we're saying is that this female Randy Stair's pathway to Ethan Ralph has been intercepted by Jim's videos.
Well, Jim gave him everything.
Oh, no.
Isn't that what he said?
But don't you think that's a bit odd? You're a 12-year-old girl, or however old she was. You start watching Jim videos. Fast forward a few years, and you're suckling a gunted man.
Man,
I don't know what you're trying to imply. I mean, it is kind of sad, but
all right.
What I'm trying to say, I mean, the way I look at it is that all cancer in the world all directly stems from Jim.
This is the point. This is the truth, people.
Gamergate is Jim's fault. Internet blood sports is also Jim's
fault. Ethan Ralph is Jim's fault. Just Ethan Ralph as a person is Jim's fault. Tonka is Jim's fault. Warski is Jim's fault.
But it is, isn't it, Josh?
Even Sargon is Jim's fault.
Oh my God,
Sargon is Jim's fault.
I don't know.
Even
I think
Sargon,
that
Josh, do you care to comment?
I think that Jim is a product of Gamergate. I don't think it would have gotten big without Gamergate. I think Gamergate came from something else besides just directly from Jim. But yeah, it is. I mean, it is weird how much like that event, like that fucking bullshit, that autism storm has like impacted everything that we know.
Well, when I really think about it, I think that Jim actually ruined the entire internet. When Jim made the conspiracy theory video, it began a timeline of events where the internet became about politics, to where you now have to give a 3-hour lecture on the ethno state in order to be considered as a legitimate commentator on internet lolcows. This is the reality now, thanks to Daddy Jim. Blessed Daddy Jim be his name. we now have to deal with this. And he brought us the Kumite. Let's not forget. He gave us Warski Live and the Ralph Retort. So everybody, round of applause. Great job.
Yeah, round of applause for Daddy Jim there. Ruining the internet for everyone. Ruining the internet.
I will
bringing to light.
Ralph is entirely Jim's fault. Jim made Ralph. That's the only reason why I found Ralph. Is from his thread and shit that Jim was doing on his streams.
Who do you think Jim loves more, Josh? Shall we play the game of the man who pretends to not have internet friends? Who do you think Jim loves more, Josh? Shall we fire a few names out? Are you ready, Josh? You ready to play who does Jim love more? Right. Dick Masterson or Ethan Ralph?
Oh fuck, that's hard.
Rapid fire.
Probably Dick. Probably Dick, because Ralph. I mean, Dick's never embarrassed Jim like Ralph has with his fucking monologue about how much he loves Jim.
Dick Masterson or Nick Riccattas?
Probably Dick over Nick, because Nick is plays on his own team most of all.
You or Ralph?
Oh, Ralph, easy.
But you're Josh. You're the giving, generous man. Generous Josh. How can he not like? How can he like the redneck pill-popping alcoholic, the bottom of the totem pole that we've established of Jim's love, more than you?
I don't think Jim and I have ever had like a genuinely like friendly interaction. We've only talked in private once. And I can't even remember what that was. Oh, it was about like Montegraph was around that time, and this, I don't know him, and I think he very.
So this is when Jim. Whoa! Not going to let you go on that one. So this is when Jim is shitting himself about being sued. So he sets up a hat store, or at least that's the excuse, and then he's contacting you for what reason?
Because I was going on a very anti-hat tirade on the forum at the time, and Jim posted a tweet like, "What the fuck is Josh's problem?" And people, Then he made a second tweet like, "What's his Twitter handle?" And people gave it to him, and he sent me a DM, and we just had a chat, and he was like, "Don't you think this Monograph guy is kind of like Vordrak, don't you?" And I was just like, I mean, I don't know. I kind of understand Jim's position on selling merchandise and stuff. I think he does want to cash out.
So did Jim want you to? Did Jim want you to like call down the pack of hounds that were going to come at him for selling out all of his principles?
Well, he didn't ask me. I think he was concerned that I had it out for him, and I did not. Because at the time that was when Zedkiss dropped the docs on him and stuff, and I think he was in some way concerned that I would be helping Montegraph try and fuck with him, like getting a Vordrak situation going. And
well, if you're the site that's hosting all of his personal information and pictures of his house, that would probably help for Montegraph's case, won't it?
Perhaps. He didn't ask me to delete anything, if that's what you're going at.
I think the implication was, Josh, the implication was, please remove the details so Montegraph won't sue me. Or else why would... You've known Jim for a decade, right? Maybe even longer.
I've known him. I mean, I've known of him since Gamergate. I didn't know of him before Gamergate.
And the only time he personally messages you is that one time.
Yes, and I think he just kind of wanted to suss out like intentions. I don't think he was trying to ask me to curate anything.
All right. PPP, have you found the article thing? Whatever you're going to pick.
Yeah. So I sent Josh just this picture. If he can put it on screen. Now I have a more fitting hat because what we've just uncovered. The grand cabal conspiracy of Daddy Jim, his hat scam. I had to get a change of hat for the tinfoil reading.
Are all three of us on the screen, by the way?
No, one at a time, whoever is speaking.
All right.
Yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I sent him that picture in Discord. I don't know if he can pull it up now.
I'm pulling it up now.
But that is the ex-boyfriend of Ralph's current girlfriend, who was actually a meth dealer. And you can see, like in certain pictures, his teeth have been rotted by the crystal meth that he would smoke. And then after he stopped dealing drugs, he managed to get a job as a janitor at a grocery store. You can't even make this shit up, And this man, there he is there with a fucking dildo taped to his fucking head on a bicycle. helmet, smoking what might be crack with a barbecue lighter there. That is,
and even this man, PPP, decided to throw the female Randy Stair to the curb. Even this man has a boundary and a line and a set of standards.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, what?
And then one day, like a folk tale, like a Grimm's fairy tale, female Randy Stair is walking in the dark woods, maybe dressed in red, and she comes across the gunted werewolf, the predator, just outside of her high school there, Ethan Ralph.
Okay. So one final thing I'm going to send to Josh to put on screen if he can is this video. This is a video of Ethan Ralph's girlfriend there. This is her like voice acting. This is her like Randy Stair thing. So the question of if we're jealous of his girlfriend can really be answered by this particular video.
Just a quick question, right? So Josh has said that he's not jealous of Ethan Ralph and all of this stuff, and we'll take him as truthful on that. But Josh, and we'll just remove the fact that, you know, the twinkle doesn't work and you've been fucked over by the Jays and all of this shit. But would you,
I'm known as legend.
at whatever age you can LARP as, would you date female Randy Stair?
Well, let's give a listen to the video. It's only a minute long, so we'll listen to it.
This is Josh pretending he's not watched this video 5 times.
I've also sent a picture.
I have never seen this before. You look, okay, there's the fucking Riley guy. These people literally think that I fucking know who they are and follow what they do. It's like I'm setting up Minecraft servers, motherfucker. I ain't got time to pay attention to your fucking bullshit. I'm sorry, I really don't. And when people send me funny stuff, I feature it. I really don't. I've never seen this before. This will be I'll give a live reaction, a genuine live reaction, I promise.
We believe you.
You've got the floor then, Josh. You've got the floor.
Okay, I'm playing it. I'm playing it now. 3, 2, 1, go.
Freaky faith. Sacrificed, burned. Until I went mad.
Here it comes.
Until my psyche broke.
The fake laughs are really fucking
And my
bad.
victims face the same punishment I was faced with.
How old is she when she recorded
Maybe
this?
they shouldn't run
I think she was 17.
before they know it will all be over. Before
She
they
seems
know it,
emotionally mature
they won't
enough for a
feel
relationship with a
anything.
38-year-old man or 36-year-old man, right? PPP? You would agree? It's a fair assessment?
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense
Do
to
they
date a
think they can
34-year-old
run?
person with dependency issues when you have mental illness and you
they
admit
think
to
they can
self-harming,
escape
suicidal thoughts,
The
and
feeling
using marijuana
of
to cope with
fire
mental illness and alcohol.
bathing
Yeah, makes
their
sense.
body.
Josh, what are your thoughts on Ethan Ralph as a man right now, in this
rising
moment, that he's preying
from
on
their
somebody like
skin
this?
As they inhale
I'm kind of
it,
nauseous. That might be
suffocating
because of my own
on the smell
imbibing
of
this
their
afternoon.
burning.
But I do feel
flesh.
nausea coming on.
And are you nauseous
Do you
morally or
honestly
because of the
think they
alcohol?
could have gotten
Make a
away
decision,
with
Josh.
sacrificing me,
I'm
causing
gonna
me
go-
to lose.
I'm gonna go. It's a moral
everything.
nausea, Godwinson. It's a moral
Will
nausea.
someone
There we go.
gotta
Even
be right.
Josh, owner and operator of Kiwi Farms, even Josh is not sicked by this. Even Josh feels a moral wellspring up in his heart there.
No matter how generous Josh is, you know, like he still looks up his nose at this disgusting, depraved, degenerate behavior.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It reminds me, and I'm not the first person to make this observation, but now that I've seen this video, it reminds me much more strongly of it, is the fucking Mumkey Jones Liu drama. Because Liu was doing the weird furry role-playing shit and the shitty art, like, up until she was 18, exactly like this. And I'm getting real fucking bad Mumkey vibes.
I have
watching
sent
this.
you, Josh, on Discord a picture of Ralph's new girlfriend. These are her graduating high school photos from last
As though
month.
Josh doesn't already have these on a folder on his desktop. Come
So
on.
if
As
you
though
can
Josh
display
hasn't
that on
printed out these
screen-
pictures and put them all over his room.
If you can display it on screen, we're going to play a classic kill stream game of Smash or Pass, boys. So chat
Okay.
can play in. We're going to
Tell
display
me
them.
when I should put it up. Tell me when I should put it up.
So
Put it
chat,
up
get
right-
involved. Smash or pass.
Let's put it up, and we're going to give chat like a good 20 seconds to decide smash or pass. We'll go through the panel each one by one.
That's her child, right?
Yeah.
Is that the meth head's kid?
I think that's her like single. Yeah, it's like her child from the meth head. So like he's again like raising another man's child.
Yeah, so when she's at his house and he's on his back and she is pushing the gun up to his, to his tits so that she can ride him adequately, there is in the other room a small toddler-age child occupying himself with, an iPad or something and blotting out the horror, the nightmarish eldritch horror that's happening down the hall. Am I getting this correct, PPP?
Are you painting the situation here, Josh, of Ralph having his oats at her house?
Having what at his house?
Sowing his wild oats, jumping of bones, having his wicked way with this mentally fucked person.
No. It's at the mama shack, the foreclosed house.
Well, Josh, let me just paint a more accurate picture for you, because it's not just this child. It's not just Ralph's mum on dialysis, screaming for her medication back. You've also got Ralph's brother, Mama JF in Ralph's skin, running around. Ethan Ralph, running around. You've got the ghost of Ronnie haunting the house, haunting the trailer. It's a disaster when Ralph tries to get his gun sucked.
All right, I want to exhibit one last thing on the girlfriend thing, and then we'll move on to the photo analysis.
PPP, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Who won? Was it smash or pass?
Yeah, who won smash or pass?
Okay. It was a hard pass from nearly everybody in chat. There were a few people who said smash, they were degenerate. I'm hard passing this shit just on the basis of the mental problems alone. And I also want to point out that, when they make fun of Boober Lee for being fat or whatever, like, this girl isn't some slim fucking supermodel by any means. So,
well, Josh, here's a question for you, man. Here's a question for Josh. Smash or pass? Female Randy Stair or Boober Lee?
Oh, God.
It's the hardest question of the night, folks.
This is tough.
I don't know if I can answer that. I feel like I'm being subjugated to like when they try to make Christians renounce their faith, they just gotta let themselves be executed by the blade. I don't think I can answer that one.
Make a decision, Josh. All right, I've got the next segment lined up. Okay.
Here, let's not do smash or pass. I would eat at a Whataburger with Boober Lee before I ate at a Whataburger with this woman.
Okay, guys, I got the toughest question before we move on. I got the toughest question of all time in my D-Live chat a couple nights ago while I was gambling. And it was this. Fuck, marry, kill. Pay, of Killstream Pay. Nora, Ralph's old wife. And this new bitch, the female Randy Stair. And I just didn't know what to say. I was like, oh my fuck.
I think I'd marry Nora because Nora is constantly working in a bargain basement minimum wage NHS job. So I'd barely even have to see her. Maybe we'd fuck Killstream Pay and we'd have to put the female Randy Stair out of her misery there.
Holy shit. What about you?
Kill Randy Stair, fuck Nora, marry Gator, because he's loyal. And that's what really matters.
Gator wasn't an option, John.
I'm substituting your options with my own set of options.
Yeah, he's not playing the game fairly.
You know what I mean? Constantly Jaying us.
Okay. But okay, Godwinson has a new segment that he wanted to bring in, but
right.
I sent Noel one more thing before we move on from the girlfriend, which is honestly, like, if you're running like the Kill Stream, which is a right-wing show, his last wife was brown. Now this girl's white, but she's got some interesting fundraisers that she does. Did you see the image I sent you, Josh? You want to put it up for the people? This is her. This is her charity fight.
Okay. 1 second. Oh, geez. Oh, yeah. Okay, I did see this. I will cop up that I have seen this one. This is pretty fucking funny. It makes you wonder, like, okay, they clearly aren't synced politically, so it's not like she's watching his streams and thinking that his political viewpoints are so agreeable and interesting, which I don't think anyone in the history of the world has ever thought about the Ralph retort, but... here we go. It's up on the stream.
Yeah. Clearly, the reality of the situation is he's been hanging outside of the high school like McConaughey and Dazed and Confused, you know, and he's finally netted one, like the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He's finally got one, and now she's living in the studio or something. She's living in the trailer with his mom and the baby and Evan Ralph, Mama JF.
Should we read this because it's from June 6th.
Yeah, go ahead.
This
go
isn't
ahead,
like
John.
June 6th, 2019. Faith Vickers says, last month, in honor of hashtag Black Lives Matter, I have created a new special design where 100% of the profit will be going to the Equal Justice Initiative in order to help people who have been wrongly convicted of crimes for things like race. Best part, it is on everything, from posters to long sleeve tees. This design is on it all. If you're not interested in this particular charity, there are other ways to help out Black Lives Matter, with a link, a way to donate if you have no money. So really, I mean, last month, really strong supporter of Black Lives Matter. Didn't really expect that of Ralph or his company, but it is an interesting character development.
No, I mean, it really is. Who could expect this plot twist in the season that she would be fucking, that Ralph's girlfriend would be like a Black Lives Matter activist. Not only does she raise money for Black Lives Matter, there's also images of her like raising money for homosexual causes, LGBT issues, all this sort of shit. And you just wouldn't expect that from the owner and operator of the kill stream.
To be clear, it's like, okay, if you're in a relationship with a woman and you don't align politically, it's whatever. What kills me about shit like this is that for a fact, if Mundane Matt's wife or baby mama put out a post about Black Lives Matter, it would be a kill stream segment for a month straight. They would bring it up every fucking episode.
Yeah, they would. If it was anybody, if it was Cog, if it was Mundane
Well, look at what happened with Cog. He did an hour-long interview with his brother not a week ago, talking about Cog being a child, talking about Cog being remedial and all of this stuff that only a brother would know. Yet the brother himself twists the knife in his back just so he can clout chase, just so he can be promoted and receive the retweet from Ethan Ralph, a man who's dressing as the annoying orange.
This gets worse, okay? There's one more thing on the ex-girlfriend that honestly, if I apologize, we have to post it.
This is the best fucking part. I've seen this before, and this is literally like when
this is where Josh isn't even going to pretend that he hasn't read the post.
Yeah,
I have seen this picture multiple times. This is the one that I've seen a bunch of times, and the first time, when I read, I just scan shit because there's a lot of shit I gotta read each day. When I saw this the first time, I thought it was like a meme template, and I didn't quite comprehend what I was looking at. But before I throw this up, I want you to know that the picture on the left is in fact Ethan's girlfriend's biological father. It is not like some kind of joke. It's not like a picture of some famous person via like memes or whatever. It is actually her father. Yeah. So keep that in mind as you gaze upon this, which is just fucking stupendous. It is really amazing.
Well, you guys finish your show there.
Has he put it up?
I put it up. Yep.
So I mean, this guy looks like This guy looks like a rejected member of that guy with the glasses. He looks like Channel Awesome would reject this guy.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
No, he does. He looks like a fucking like a reject. That guy with the glasses, Paul Lotza type motherfucker, And it's just fucking sad. Like, it's obvious she has severe daddy issues. Like, she wants to fuck her dad. And so she found the land whale, fucking the gunty, sick fucking motherfucker. This is funny as shit. I don't care who you are. This is fucking funny. Holy
But doesn't that picture imply that this guy is like a content creator? Is he on the internet? Like, is this guy, can we search his videos and watch his movie review of Zardoz?
Yeah, that's probably why it didn't click the first time I saw it. It's like that's like a Twitter avatar for someone who reviews children's cartoons or something. That's not like a grown man who has a kid.
This is it. So there's a whole wellspring here. Unmined, untapped. Maybe this is one for fucking Zoom, your best friend, Josh. Maybe this is one for any number of these A-logs that follow Ralph around. I think PPP is going to the toilet there.
I mean, okay, you haven't outright said it yet. Is that he looks exactly fucking like Ralph? He a doppelganger.
Yeah.
It's a straight up motherfucking doppelganger between these two. You know, it's fucking.
It's Ralph. It's rad. It's Ralph. Had Ralph been recruited by Doug Walker in 2011?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Instead of hosting the RalphRetort.com, he's on That Guy with the Glasses / My Little Pony Specialist 19.
But Ralph is like a couple years shy of being old enough to be her dad. If he was
how old is Ralph?
He's 34, I believe.
The years have not been kind.
Yeah, I always want to say he's close to 40 because he looks it.
Yeah, like look at his hair here. It's all grayed and like peppered. You know, like he's gone gray.
You have a history. I'm not going to go into it, but you have a history of being around people who are just degenerate alcoholics. How long do you think this guy's got left in life?
Oh, I don't know. He could get his act around any day now and live a
generous
long,
giving
life.
Josh won't even give us a number. Won't even give us a number of years for which Ralph has left to live. You know?
What a wonderful, generous
what
giving
a wonderful man.
Can you feel the love tonight? Jenny Josh. Oh, it's generous Josh.
Yeah. It is generous Josh. It is absolutely generous Josh. Whereas Josh was Janny Josh, Janny Juice mere months ago. Now he's soaring. Now he's flying high. Now there's no sky which Josh cannot conquer.
All right. What did you have for the next topic?
Well, I had my endorsement from Ethan Ralph. So amidst all of the dramas that we've had with Ralph has decided to suck my balls and fondle me and hold me close. Maybe he's after another Kaz. I don't know. Maybe he's after some way back to YouTube or something like this.
Before you play that, I just have to, like, nobody's going to believe that this is real, but it's real. Press 1 in chat if you believe Godwinson that Ralph has sucked his balls and said he's great. Press 2 if you fucking doubt that this footage is real. You know, press 1 if you believe. Press 2 if you doubt.
He loves me, PPP.
He loves you.
Ethan Ralph, I'm his mensch. You know, he has zero love for Gator. He has zero love for Fagmenko. He has zero love for the Ranbot. But he loves Godwinson. A man who every time he opens his mouth and speaks, there's an insult hurled at Ethan Ralph. He loves me. Let's see if I've got the right timestamp, ladies and gentlemen.
Hit him.
Let's see. Chauvinist says, "What did you do to Godwinson to make him a stalker?" I don't know. We love Godwinson, of course. He's like a character. He's like am I doing a Netflix show or something? Why would I care about an actor saying a bunch of bullshit? Chauvinist says,
"There we go. He loves Godwinson. He loves the Godwinson Netflix show. He thinks I'm the greatest living actor of our time."
I don't think we heard it. Bring it back.
You don't think you heard it?
Bring it back. Enhance. There's no way we heard what we just heard. Bring it back. Enhance that audio. Enhance that audio.
All right. We might be. You can hear that, surely. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Chauvinist says, "What did you do to Godwinson to make him a stalker?" I don't know. We love Godwinson, of course. He's like a character. He's like am I doing a Netflix show or something? Why would I care about an actor saying a bunch of bullshit? Chauvinist says, "Vomit breath cog."
There we go. Did we all hear that? He loves Godwinson.
We all heard it.
He loves me.
I love you, Godwinson.
I love you. Well, I've got a message for you, Ralph, because we know you're watching. And you've just blocked me on Twitter, I've just seen, by the way. We know you're watching, Ralph. He's so mad, Josh. He's so mad. We know you're watching, Ralph. And I've got a message for you. Godwinson don't like you, mate. Godwinson don't like you. Godwinson thinks you should be in jail. Godwinson thinks that jail might be good for you. You might even lose the weight there. and stop pretending to be Keemstar dressed as the annoying Orange. This is it. This is it, right? You know, so it was good for prison was good for him. There are people in life where prison is a good thing. It keeps them off the booze. It keeps them from eating burgers from the trash and stealing their mother's medication. And I think for Ethan Ralph, prison is a good thing. PPP.
I think so. I think the only way that Ralph is ever going to get his life together is to be institutionalized. I believe that he is the sort of person that needs to be institutionalized for his own good. He will always be within the jaws of the system. He is a convicted felon. He has a probation officer that he has to answer to, which is already good to give him structure to his life. But he really does just need to be fully institutionalized. I think that's the corrective measure for him. He doesn't deserve liberty. He doesn't deserve freedom. He's a piece of shit. Josh, what was your reaction to Ralph letting us know that Godwinson is an absolute mensch? He's so God.
It's
glorious.
I mean, it doesn't sound authentic. It sounds the venom is dripping off every word. Though I will say, you know, about the prison thing, he came out of prison sober. He came out of prison like 100 pounds lighter. And I think it was directly after he came out of prison where the height of the kill stream was. Like that, he likes to claim that him being intoxicated benefits the show in some way. But I think if you look back historically, you know, the shows where he was consistently doing the best were ones where he was, the most sober. He had Nora with him, and she was probably keeping him in line in some way. So I don't know. Maybe a month in prison would do him some good.
Josh, I'm going to ask you a question now.
Mm-hmm.
You're a friend of Dick Masterson. You've been a part of the cabal. This isn't even in doubt. You've all been having calls and group messages with each other. Was there ever a point where you all discussed Ethan Ralph's alcoholism and how to intervene?
No, I don't think I've ever been in a chat with
these pregnant
Dick.
pauses.
There was.
No. It's just the stream.
It's okay.
Up.
Go ahead.
No, I've never been in a group chat with Dick and someone else. I've never discussed Ralph being an alcoholic. I don't want to say never, but I'm pretty sure I've never discussed Ralph's drinking with Dick.
Okay. No.
Do you think that Dick sending bottles of whiskey in the post is constructive for Ethan Ralph's alcoholism?
No, I don't think that was a good idea at all. I think that was kind of disrespectful to Ralph.
No, come on. It was just Dick being generous. It couldn't have been that he was trying to enable the degeneracy to create a codependent relationship where Ralph relies on him for his addictions and, submits to him further. That couldn't be it. He's just a generous man. Right?
I wouldn't go that far. I'm pretty sure it's just like, what do you buy Ralph? If you at penalty of being executed tomorrow had to buy Ralph a gift that you knew he would enjoy, what would you buy him? The easy answer is alcohol.
Well,
I'd buy him a lifetime's membership to a gym.
Bullshit. He wouldn't like that.
What I would beheaded if you did that.
I would go to the dumpster behind my local McDonald's and I would fish out a few half-eaten Big Macs.
You've got to buy it. You can't cheap out on the gift for Ethan Ralph.
So here's what I'll do. I'll go to McDonald's. I'll buy some shit. I'll half-eat the burgers. I'll toss them into my apartment's local garbage facility for 3 days overnight. Let them fucking marinate, get rancid. The flies and maggots and shit get into them. And I'll bring that rancid batch of burgers to his fucking house, and he'll have them. Like, these are so These are so good, PPP. Just how
they're so good, Gator.
Right from the trash, Gator. What a fucking mensch, Gator. Holy shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. One last thing I think we got to cover for sure before we end the show. Josh, do you have the photo? You have to give us your analysis of the photo.
Oh, Josh, this is Josh's time here.
Yeah,
this is his moment to shine. To give us his.
This was something I saw today that just kind of blew my mind. At first, I thought this was them at Dick's place, but I've been corrected, of course, by the powers that be. That this is actually, in fact, at Ethan Ralph's place. Let me go ahead and try and pull it up real quick. This is going to take a second because My computer is literally on fire as I speak, and I'm trying desperately to put
just
it
as
out.
you're pulling it up, then, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Just as you're pulling it up, can you just tell me your thoughts on him using the face cam, using a studio?
Oh,
what do you think's inspired that? Do you think that's a successful move?
100% inspired by Dick. The best thing he's ever fucking done. Ever. I am so happy that he's got that fucking webcam up. That little fucker on the top of his computer screen is my best friend. That motherfucker is going to pay me back dividends real soon. I'm so excited for it. Okay, this is the picture I brought. I'm going to bring it up on the stream for everyone right now. I thought this was at Dick's place because I think Dick has similar soundproofing on his walls, but this is actually Ralph's studio.
Yeah, the car mats. The car mats stapled to the walls, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna name everyone from left to right. Left is Mint Salad, who, if you don't know, is an 18. She's 20 now, but at 18 or 19, I think 19. I'm gonna say 19. She was a furry pornography artist who Dick encouraged to abandon her family because they did not support her furry pornography business, and she did, and it caused a rift in the Dick Show community. On the right, to the right of her, I'm pretty sure is Riley, the actual employee of the Dick Show, the producer of the Dick Show, the only employee besides Sean, the audio engineer, who recently today disinvited me from their members-only Discord. To the right of him, this
is by the way, this is the reason why Josh is analyzing the photo.
No, he's
just throwing out all of their dogs.
No, he's a generous man, and he's giving out glorious feedback to assist people in bettering their lives. Okay, go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
To the right of him, the unfortunate-looking woman is Pantsu Party, who is to the right of her, Digibro, now DigiNay, the infamous lolicon who wants to be fucked as a little girl and masturbates to children being raped in the form of drawn pornography. And in front of him is, or her, sorry, I don't want you guys to get banned. I know I'm on PPP's channel. I don't want PPP to get banned from D Live. In front of the beautiful woman is Ralph. And all today, Digibro and Riley did a horrific rap about burning down the Karen Farms, and Karen Farms is something Dick came up with, and Ralph has been on his tirade. So, I mean, I sound conspiratorial when I say this, but it really does seem like all these fucking people met up at Ralph's house, and they started talking, they started drinking, and the conversation switched to the Kiwi Farms, and they just decided that I and the Kiwi Farms are fucking horrific pieces of shit. And now they're all playing defensive for each other, and I have this picture of them together, and it's, I can't even like give it a benefit of a doubt that maybe I'm just being silly. It seems like that's the case because it all happened.
What are you telling us, Josh? By the way, are you telling us that these? I mean, where do all of these people live? Are they within 100 yards of Ralph's trailer, or?
Oh, I don't know where they live.
So let's just come to the conclusion that they've driven hundreds of miles to gather at Ralph's house, the trailer.
Sure, that'd be fair. A couple hours drive. I mean, that's in the US.
To have a sort of mafia meeting where all of these heads, all of these capos are together at Ralph's house, and they've come to the conclusion that yes, we will use our League of Degeneracy to bring down Josh's League of Degeneracy, the Kiwi Farms. And what do you think, to what goal? Why would they want to bring it down? Because they haven't all got threads on there, have they? They're just capos of Dick Masterson.
Ralph might have a thread. Digibro might have a thread. The only person on this who is not related to someone who has a thread or engaged with someone who has a thread is Riley. But Riley is directly, explicitly employed by Dick, who does have a thread. So you get these people together and they're like, well, these people are saying this shit, this untrue shit that ain't true about me and my thread. Digibro, of course, is horrifically slighted by the accusation that he's a pedophile just because he masturbates to pictures of drawn pornography of children being raped. He's not a pedophile. And Riley, who now is close enough friends with Digibro to show up with him in person in songs, got offended at me when I said that Digibro was a pedophile. And said, lolicon is not pedophilia, and he got offended at that. And if Dick takes any problems because of the Kiwi Farms, well, he's out his fucking job. And he's very loyal to Dick because he was formerly employed by Asterios Kokkinos, who had a falling out with Dick Masterson and kicked Riley off the show. And now Riley's the producer, and Riley just so happened after this meeting to disinvite me from future appearances.
So, Josh, how on earth are you still loyal to Dick Masterson if he's sending his right-hand man, the producer, to Ethan Ralph's house to plot to bring you down and do a rap on you? I don't understand how you're keeping these loyalties.
I haven't heard anything from Dick personally.
Well, you're not going to, because he doesn't like to get his hands dirty, as you well know. PPP, what are your thoughts on this? Doesn't this fucking blow your almonds?
Well, of course it does. And I mean, I just don't know what sort of greasy cabal, backroom, shady, fucked up deals are happening. Do you know what I mean? But when I look at this photo, because I want to break this photo down. So I don't know if it's just the photo on screen or if it's switching back and forth between us. But what's fucked up is that I have like a lot of the items in that photo in my office. Like, for instance, I have the vape. I think I have the exact same vape as is sitting by the Coca-Cola bottle. Like, I think I have the exact same one. I have the same Calypso drink as is in that photo. You know what I mean? And
you're the
like,
number one A-log. You're the number one Ralph A-log.
What the fuck? So you look at this shirt, you look at his like WCW shirt, and what you can see, like, first of all, you see his man tits. He cries about me saying I have man tits. Look, I have the best tits on all of D Live. That's just the fucking reality, guys. That's the facts. But like, you can see through his shirt. You can see the grizzled gunt flesh. You can actually see it's just like the same texture as the gunt flesh through his shirt on his man tits. I don't know how he managed to fuck that up, but he did. The other observation is that you can clearly tell no one in this picture is healthy. No one in this picture is normal. Everyone in this picture, you can clearly tell, has mental illness or some form of like physical malady that's fucked them up. Just by looking at them, you know they're fucked. You know, just some weird motherfuckers. And then you have like the dilapidated Coke bottle, the sad fucking Coke bottle, which I imagine sits there on the desk for fucking hours and hours and hours in the fucking sun every day. And it's flat and it's been sitting there for weeks, and he just takes sips out of it every now and again because he likes that warm, shitty, nasty, flat Coke. And he just, every picture of this fucking guy has like picture like Coke bottles. Do you know, like he always is drinking Coke, and that's why he looks like that. You know, he's fucked. That's
Josh.
My ultimate.
Yes.
Josh, when you look at that picture, are you afraid of what's coming?
No.
There's a storm coming, Mr. No.
Winter is coming, Josh. Winter is coming.
I just see everyone involved as being like greedy, and greedy to a fault, where they don't even understand what they're doing. They think they do. They think they have like some kind of concept of what they're trying to achieve. But I mean, a lot of them are young, especially Riley. I didn't know that Riley was only like 22. Mint Salad's 20 now. It's just like, don't think that Ralph has some sort of grand strategy to what he's doing. It's literally just take from the people around him for as long as he can to get to the next point where he can find someone else to take from them to get to the next point.
I mean, what a disaster. This is like a grand Shakespearean tragedy where you're seeing like young lives thrown away, you know? These
Destroyed.
People have their whole lives ahead of them. Like, this is some shit from like, what was that Aronofsky picture? Requiem for a Dream. This is like Requiem for a Dream, but like,
and that's what's going to play us out, PPP.
Yeah, we're going to play out with Requiem for a Dream. Do we got anything else on this show, boys? But like, seriously, it's like a fucking modern day tragedy. We're literally getting to see like addiction and like poverty and like social class of like the South and, you know, living off welfare, like happening live. You know,
well, let's just ask Josh what his opinions are. Like, Josh, what's your opinion of Worski coming back to Ethan Ralph? Because I remember you were pretty vocal on the fucking codependency in Miami there and the shit show that happened, and they're not good for each other. What are your thoughts about that? One of
my first impressions of Andy Worski was when I was on his stream and they were trying to set up the fight with Tonkasol, and they got that woman, Tara La Rosa or whatever, and she was on it, and he just like kicked her off the stream and was calling her like a bitch and shit, and I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I don't know what Andy in particular has in in being on Ralph's show, but Gator even has said that Ralph being involved with Andy is a bad idea. Andy is very unpredictable, and he might be having fun on the Ralph Retort now, but I mean that's not going to last.
Go on, PPP, do your bit, do your Hamlet.
Alas, Andy, I knew him once. Oh fuck! Alas, Andy, I knew him once. I don't know. It's tough, guys. It's fucking tough. The Hamlet bit. Play us out, Godwinson. Play us out. The show is fucking...
I've just tried to load it up, but I've just got another advert for a cornetto.
We need a stream where Godwinson eats 12 cornettos live.
That's the mukbang stream. That's the PPP 500 follower special.
Yeah. When we hit 500 followers, Godwinson's gonna eat like 6.
All right, guys. It's been a fucking wild show. We've been joined by public enemy number 1. PPP's whipped out his Shakespeare. Josh, say goodbye to the PPP audience.
Oh, goodbye, everyone. I'm sure everyone's going to be very angry at me tomorrow, so it'll perpetuate forever. It'll perpetuate forever, and we'll always get to enjoy this shit show.
We love you, Josh. Generous Josh!
It's a 6-minute song, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the chorus. This is what it's like. This is how these people behave. As though they're in Requiem for a Dream. It's never ending.
Never ending. It continues.
All right, I think we can end the show.
That's the end of the show.
All right, I'm going to cut it out. Take it easy, guys.
Perfect.